Since my last video was posted, I've been actually traveling back and forth to Toronto on quite a consistent basis. One time, me and my guy Martin were going to capture the sun goes right through the CN Tower, and this had been a dream shot of mine for a really long time. So we hopped onto a GO train to Toronto, and after a quick coffee run at a random Canadian dude store, we arrived at the beach. We set up our tripod and prepared our camera, and now we wait for the sun to set. But all we can see was pure cloud. The whole sky was covered by big, thick gray clouds, and there were no possible way that the sun could peek through. So we just waited and waited, and as if his prayer to all the gods actually worked, the sun appeared itself, and all was worth it. The other week, I was at a Toronto Auto Show with another photographer friend, and we saw some of the sickest cars we ever saw.
McLaren P1, and what is this? Lamborghini.
Including the Bugatti Chiron, and by the way,
what color is your Bugatti?
But sometimes I went to Toronto just for the sake of going, and today I thought I would take you along to this journey and show you how one of these Toronto trips look like.
Alright, it's currently 10:52. I arrived here a bit early, but my friends are supposed to arrive anytime soon.
She said that she hate me, I hate me too. I can always tell when you lie.
建议大家取关举报不感兴趣这个3连这位优质的博主啊，是这个杜马丁在此给大家磕一个。
对，这个后面这个板炮很屌，你看懂？
6，但知道是什么意思。
我这不防水，换句话就是人只要。
We eventually reached our destination at its library in the University of Toronto, and as soon as I stepped in, I was purely amazed by the architecture in this building.
咱们燕尾服从天而降的。
As always, we set up our tripod, down in settings, and started shooting.
怎么来这么多人了？
来这么多人。
One of the reasons why I love traveling along with photographers is that you don't always have to be behind the camera anymore. There's also other people who are as good at taking photos as you to take your photos.
哎，有助理给我拿相机真好。
助理，我是他新招聘的助理。
You know, people say that very sad but true quote that people who are good at taking photos never really appear in their own photos. But not only that, connecting with people with the same passion as you will only make you better, because you guys probably been on a similar journey on this passion. You can share about your struggles, and there's always something that the other person know that you don't, or I know that the other person doesn't know. So it's always a learning experience for both of us. And the relationship is really easy to build up because you guys can understand where both of you is coming from during a conversation. Like when you talk about insider jokes that normally people don't get, for example, like Canon's overheating, like Fujifilm's focusing, and like Sony honestly, I don't know what's wrong with Sony. These are only things that photographers and people who has the same passion as you can understand. And for me specifically, with these photographer friends, we literally have this WeChat group sort of to share all of your photography locations. Like if I say, oh, today I went to Riverdale Park and I captured this amazing landscape of Toronto, I want to share with them, and they can come shoot this sometimes, and maybe next time they want to shoot somewhere, they also gonna share with you. So it's always mutually beneficial for all of us. After staying for more than 2 hours, we eventually had to leave this place. So we headed down in Chinatown and went to this rice noodle roll place.
广东人吃饭前得洗个碗。
哎，地道。
哎，蒸一碗。
这个筷子得要往上面这么过来。
哎，
大可不大。
这样就省着点。不，咱们广东人有特殊训练，懂吗？哎，涮活，来，请您干了。
哎操！
干了。
这么恶心。
防止复活，这个让他们醒来一下啊，让他们暖和一下身子，对吧？
And afterwards, we headed out to the second location for the day, but only to find out that we're not allowed to shoot in there.
Aga Khan Museum.
乱七的给我
他们刚才说啥了？
说吧。他们刚刚说咱们几个都是傻子啊，这特别牛逼，真的。
他不让傻子拍。
哎，不让傻子拍，必须说。
咱们 Uber 50 minutes， 不多久了
45 minutes。
45 minutes， 哎呦我6。
对了。
How many dollars？
25。
$25。$25。
No，
but 我们还回去。哎喂。
So instead of leaving right away, we enjoyed ourselves there and made the most of our time. As soon as we got back to Union Station, it started pouring
Snowing
snow.
so much over here. I'll say today is quite successful. I'm at Union right now, ready to go home. But you know how hard the snow is showing right now.
So I took this opportunity to take some street flicks in the average Toronto weather, and you can find the full video on my Instagram. While waiting for the train, I bought a cheesecake that apparently my mom really wants to eat. And after picking up that cake, I went to Tim Hortons for a quick iced coffee. During our train ride back home, I remember I recalled what happened throughout these last few weeks when I was traveling with other photographers. And if there's one thing that I learned from all of these trips, and something that I want you to take away from this video, is that you shouldn't be afraid to meet people with the same passion as you. In this creative space, it can easily feel like you're this lonely wolf with ambitious goals in the dark. But trust me, as soon as you start to explore what's really outside of your comfort zone, you'll find an entire new world filled with like-minded people that's truly magical.
We just arrived at Oakville. I'm going to go on a bus and go home. And yeah, that's basically it for everything that I do in Toronto. That's just basically what we do as a photographer, I guess. If you want to see more of these kind of vlogs, make sure to subscribe and give it a like. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.